Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome in. Appreciate you guys checking this video out. So a lot of people ask, hey, how does submitting a card to PSA work? So I was given permission by one of the guys in the group to show off his collection. This is about half. I've already delivered most of these back to him. But here we go, so you guys can kind of check it out. This is what he sent in. The majority of this is Wembanyama stuff. He's a big Wembanyama believer. We've got a little bit of some other stuff in there, and in the back we've got some big cards. So if you guys have any questions about how this process works and what we do, feel free to ask, or what I do. I don't know why I always use the church we. It's really just me and the mouse in my pocket. But we're looking at not quite a 9, 9 or 9 or better, just so you guys have the general idea. So not quite a 9, I might say, hey, this one's rough, probably 6, 7, 8, somewhere in that range. A 9 means that the card's just not quite a 10, but it's very clean. I think it's going to get a 9 pretty consistently. I would say 70% 9, 15% could go up, 15% could go down, but pretty confident on 9s. I know what a 9 looks like. A 9 or better, that implies that I really do think that it's at least a 50% shot at getting a 10 or better. But I put it in the 9+ category. There's nothing that I'm going to tell you is a straight up always a 10. I will tell you, look, this is a very strong 9+. I do not see anything on it that scares me, but I'm not the grader, guys. The graders are on the other side. So let's jump into it. Just to show you guys, I use a diffused lamp. Usually I shut the lights off. Let me do that just for the ambiance, but it also cuts down on additional glare. Again, this is going to be a longer video. We're going to go over each one of his cards, give him an assessment, and I'm going to share this video with you guys so you guys can check it out. Again, these cards are already back to him when I drop this video for everyone. But yeah, kind of cool that he said we could go ahead and share it. Yeah. All right, so here we go. When we're looking at these cards, what we're looking for is stuff like this. Let me zoom in. So you can see there's some light scratches here. They don't destroy the card, but it does going to make it more of a 9 already. Looking at the back's clean, so that's probably more of a 9. So what I do is I'm going to sleeve the card up and I'm going to put it on the 9 pile just so that we can keep track of kind of where things rate. If he decides not to send it, no big deal. I'll pull the card. If he chooses to send it, it'll go across. We send most of the cards because he likes to see how they do. And he's got enough big cards in here that as long as they do reasonably well, he feels pretty confident in his collection. In fact, this collection's big enough, I actually flew out to pick it up and I fly back to drop it off, and he covers the airfare, so thank you for that. We got a little fingerprint here, easy to pick up, but just so you guys can see what I'm seeing, see if I can get the fingerprint to bounce. Yeah, you can kind of sort of see it right there. So I'll clean up that fingerprint. That's easy enough. A lot of people say, hey, I don't believe that cleaning the cards is okay. I disagree. If you get a fingerprint on a card, why can I not rub the fingerprint off, right? I'm not adding anything to the cards. My goal is to not hurt the cards in any way, shape, or form and remove anything that gets onto the cards. So I'm not changing the cards in any way. My goal is just to make the cards as clean and as factory fresh as possible. So I'm not changing the cards. I am just cleaning the cards off and making sure that they look nice. So the only thing on this one, right there in the hawk eye, there's a little bump, just a little bump there. I would still, sorry, this last one's more of a 9+. This is more of a 9+, even with that small bump. We don't have anything major on the front. One thing right there, but I should get that up. There are certain things that are more scratches, and there are certain things that it's kind of like a scuff, meaning it should just wipe right off. I don't know how the scuffs get there, but however it got there, I should be able to get it up. You can see even right there, I mean, that's on the inside. That could wipe onto the card. So that's the reason one touches. I'm not the biggest fan of shipping cards around in them, but it's what we had available at the time. So this is how it came home to me. So again, just looking over the card, trying to find anything that would be considered an impurity. I rub my finger on the card just to see if stuff moves, because a lot of this stuff, it's actually barely on there. So I just end up wiping it off. I don't have to do that much to many cards. I'm not a restorer. It's not to say I won't flatten a corner a little bit, but if I bump the corner, I mean, all I'm doing is just flattening it back out, if that makes sense. I don't bump corners, but whoever did, you know how it looks like a 9+ on that one. So again, we're going to go through these one at a time. It's going to take a while, so if you guys enjoy the video, drop a like. If you guys don't, well, this is just a little different video than we normally do because people are always curious. So this is my PSA overview. I do standard for everybody who sends cards in. So if you decide to send some cards in, you guys can reach out to us via email, gradedinvestors@gmail.com, and we'll get you all the pertinent information you need for sending cards in. So we got a couple marks on his waist. Those may come up, they may not. They look semi-permanent. We'll say this is more of a 9 due to that. And if you guys are curious how these cards end up doing, shoot me a message and I can link you when they come back. Or, yeah, anyway, I'll put a link in this video if enough people are interested. I guess that's the easiest way. Typically, these cards come back in about 2 months. So these are being done in the end of February. So you'd be looking at end of April, give or take, just depending on how fast PSA is going at the moment. So another one, another little mark there, a little scratch there. Nothing crazy, but just little stuff that's going to bring the score down. I will do my best to clean off as much of the, as you can see, there's almost like some staining there. I bet you that's just marks, if that makes sense, from like, yeah, a couple marks here. But if anybody's curious about cleaning and different options for, you know, straightening cards, cleaning cards, making them look a little bit better, Kurt's Card Care, Kurts Card Care, is a great person to follow if you want to learn a little bit about cleaning. I don't do it to the extent he does it. I'm mostly just a guy who tells you, hey, these are the ones not to send. They're not going to perform as well. And I make sure that all the cards get wiped down, corners get straightened, and I get what I can. I don't do the full in-depth. He does some crazy stuff to get cards to a weird place. So, but he does a good job. And at the end of the day, they don't look as though they've been messed with. And he doesn't really add stuff to them, if that makes sense. He's still removing and getting them back to factory. But yeah, that card looks great, 9+, a couple things on it, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to get those up. And the biggest thing is, you know, I can't guarantee that these cards are going to score those. This is my best guess based on, you know, sending hundreds and hundreds of cards in every single month. Last month we sent in a little over 550. This month we'll send in, with this order, probably 550, 600. So this one does have a print line right through the middle. Print line you can see right there. Our guy that gets these, dude, he loves jersey numbers. So if you have a jersey number Wemby that you want to move, I know somebody who definitely would buy it at a reasonable price. You know, he's got a couple guys who've tried to sell him at huge markups, and he's not that guy. But I think this one's going to be a 9 just because of the line. But I don't think anybody's got as big of a jersey number collection as he has, because this is about half of the jersey numbers that he has are here. The other half are already back with him. So that one's sick. I like this card, man. World Travelers, it's a cool card. Got a little bit of a corner here. It's not bad. Recon's just a little tough. Yeah, you can see on the backside it's a little white. So probably more of a 9, small chance of an 8. But I'm going to lean 9 for that one. This video is going to him as well. He'll see it before you guys do, just so he can look it over. And he'll give me final approval to share with you guys. But I'm fairly certain he's good with it. He has invested a significant amount with his collection. And let's face it, once you invest a significant amount of money, it's kind of fun to show off your collection. So if you guys want to say something to him, say it in the chat. Or in the comments section, because he will check out the comments section. So if you have any thoughts on this, we have a little mark on his glute right there, little mark there. May or may not come up. I don't think it will. I think that's an actual dimple. But other than that, it looks really nice. So I'm going to call this one a 9+. I do think it leans 9 a decent amount of the time. I really don't see it getting lower than a 9. Also, if you guys choose to send in with me, I charge $5 a card. $5 a card includes this, cleaning, and getting it over to PSA and back. And then the only other charge is PSA's charge, which right now is $20 a card. And then there is $2. $1 to PSA and $1 back in shipping. All these cards will ship with the rest of the cards, so they ship safely, but it is fully insured, and the insurance I buy is expensive, and the insurance back from PSA is also expensive. So it costs $1 per card each way, so $2 total. So right now, cards are at $27 a card. If there is a promo, that number would come down. So what we've got is a little edge bump right here. It's going to make it more of a 9. I'm not seeing anything else. It's not a huge edge bump, so I don't think it's going to destroy us. There's a little bit of one right here. You can barely see it, but it's like right in there. A little bit of a corner. So this is definitely more of a 9, maybe an 8. But I'll go around the card and just see if I can make any of that look a little bit nicer. Again, I don't transform cards. I just clean them up, make them look as nice as I can within reason. I don't add anything to the cards. My goal is to keep them as similar as possible while still just giving them a nice wipe down. I don't add like chemicals. I use a water alcohol solution, which is super simple. People hear alcohol and they're like, oh, that's bad. No, it's just to help the water evaporate off the card. So we wipe it on, it evaporates off really quickly. The goal is to not have water on cards for too long. So you can see it's got a little bit of a bump right there, a little bit of a bump right there. That's the type of stuff that they find. If you are looking at cards, anytime you can, look through a diffused light, because you see how the light doesn't destroy, because it's not too bright. It doesn't destroy your chance to see what's on the card. So this one just needs a nice wipe down, a little bit of edge stuff, but I do still put this into a 9 or better category. I really don't see it being below a 9. Again, not to say we haven't been surprised before, but I'm also confident I can make a few of those things look a little bit better with the wipe down. Not everybody wipes their cards down. You really should, especially you can see I'm using my hands outside of gloves. When I'm using the cleaning process, I'm going to put gloves on, lay down a microfiber cloth, and then just wipe the cards off with microfiber cloths and work a little bit on corners and edges just to make sure they're as straight as they can be. We got a little bit of a corner here. You can see right there, got a little bit of an edge here. Anywhere you see whitening, again, I'm not going to go back in there with black and blacken that back up. Then it's going to be, the card will easily get kicked. So I don't do any of that. All I do is I'm just going to use my water-based solution, wipe towards the edges, and just try to get it as square as I can, because this is flown a little bit, meaning it's ridged back. And so if you walk it down this way, a lot of times you can get it just to flatten out a little bit. It looks cleaner. It's not really changing the card. It's just squaring the card up, if that makes sense. Again, if you guys have thoughts, that's going to be more of a 9. Put them in the comment section. I love responding to you guys' thoughts on this. If you have questions, if you think I'm wrong, share. I haven't had one card kicked because I changed anything on the card, because again, I do not add anything to the card. My goal is to not add anything to the card. My goal is to remove every impurity from the card that's not printed on there. If it's printed impure, excuse me, it is what it is. I can't fix a bad print. But what I can do, fingerprints, oils, different things like this, I can get those off. Plus, to be honest, I wouldn't want them, even if they slab this as a 10, I wouldn't want any fingerprints or oils on it anyway, because over time that could potentially erode the card. So these are tough. As you're looking at it with the light, you can see dot, dot. So I'm just going to rub my finger over it. So when I'm rubbing my finger over it, it's something on top of the card. So it's like some gunk, and you can see it moved. But there's also some gunk through here that looks like light scratching. That may be permanent. What's interesting about these cards, the top layer here is plastic. And so the top layer, if it gets scratches in it, it's where plastic is missing, right? Think about plastic. And if you scratch the plastic, that's missing plastic. So I'm never going to like go and try to figure out how to match the plastic. There's not a good way to do that. With that said, you can give it like a gentle buff on the top just to make it look nice, right? Like you would do with your car. You're going to shine it up a little bit, make sure it looks nice. This is a borderline 9.9 plus. Because the corner edges and everything are really sharp, I'm going to put that more in the 9 plus. It's an out of 10 cracked ice Wemby. It's going to go all day. But hopefully that gets a 9 with a shot at a 10 once I'm done just kind of making it look as nice as possible. Again, water-based solution with a little bit of alcohol in it, and the goal is just so that it evaporates the water. The alcohol does not, there's not enough alcohol in it to do anything other than evaporate. All right, next one's up. Let's see. So this one's got a little bit of a print line. You can see the little bit of a print line right through there, but that's sometimes just a part of the mosaic design. Should be an out of 10. No, it's an out of 99. I don't know why I thought this was gold. I thought it was gold. It must be, it's the yellow. It's the, yeah, cool. So we got a little bit of a corner here. I'll work that out. The back is a little bit dirty, so I still think it's a 9 plus. It's a borderline 9 plus, but I'm going to lean 9 plus on it. Through here, we're going to have a lot of different cards with a lot of different stuff on them, so I will do my best to go through these. This looks a little scary, but I'm angling the knife in a way that it's barely cutting the top. I do this all the time. I do not like tape. I would prefer people not tape the top of cards. Get a team bag. It's just safer. It's cleaner. Also, when the card bumps the top, there is a possibility, especially on cards like this that have foil, that foil can get stuck on the tape and end up pulling off. So it's better to do like with this one, just get a nice little team bag around the outside of it. It's going to look considerably cleaner. If you guys are seeing that we're very zoomed in, it's intentional because I want to show off the impurities on the card. I'm not necessarily trying to let you guys see the whole thing. My goal is to show off what's going on with the card because, again, this is going out to, and I'm going to call him my customer. He's a buddy. He's a friend. We have conversations all the time. But in this scenario, he is my client for sending these off. But again, we're friends, but you get it. When you first do business with somebody, at first they're a client, then they become a friend. Hopefully you have a good relationship. But right now I am working for him. So 2 dots right here. Unfortunately, those are little pock marks. It probably makes it a 9. Other than that, it's really, really nice with slightly rolled corners. The corners on these are almost always slightly rolled. And what you can see is, see how it gets a little more silvery on the outside? It just means that outside is just rolled up just a touch. But a gorgeous card. It's out of 49. It's probably getting a 9. Probably worth sending all day. I mean, it's a big, big card. He believes in Wemby. He thinks Wemby's going to be great 5, 10, 15 years from now. If Wemby is who we think he might be, it's a big, big card. Big, big card. Out of 49, cracked dice all day, plus jersey number. And you guys, again, you're going to see a ton of jersey numbers. It's his favorite. Look, another jersey number. So this one right here, unfortunately, we got a scratch right through the middle. That is not going to go anywhere. That's going to make this more of a 7, maybe an 8. And the reason, if you guys are curious, hey, Josh, why is this scratch so much worse? To be honest, it's because the scratch goes like this. And so it's not a factory scratch, or it's not like a normal factory scratch. There's also, there's just a lot going on with this. I will clean it up as best I can, but this is going to be our first one that I go a little bit rough. But it's one of the jersey numbers. He's going to send it in more than likely. I will do everything in my power to make it look as nice as possible. But again, those scratches are missing plastic. And when it comes to missing plastic, it's very hard to get plastic back because I don't have like a plastic replacement or something. And again, that would be changing the card, and I don't do that anyway. So Caitlin Clark, another one of the people that he really likes. I do think Caitlin Clark has big upside. I don't know what her trajectory will be. Just like Wemby, it'll be interesting. But so this one's got a couple things, a little bit of marking right here. That should come up. The thing I'm most concerned about is you can see flares through the top. See, flare, 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 flare. And I'm not sure what that is. What I will do is I will work the edge just a little bit to see if I can figure out if that's like gunk. It doesn't feel like gunk. It kind of feels like it's there. So I'm going to say this is more of a 9. Again, once I get my my gloves on and I got all my stuff going, a little bit of water on the top there will let me know if that stuff will move once it's a little damp or if it is genuinely permanently there. So again, tape on the top, absolutely dislike. Not a fan. I know people use it. They think it's good. Just get team bags. Team bags are like 4 or 5 cents. Worth every penny. Reuse them. Team bags are the way. So centering, I am always paying attention to the centering. Most of these centerings are pretty good. This one's not bad, but I'm just going to talk about it because Prism's easy to see. You're looking at the gap here versus the gap here versus the gap top to bottom. You can see that it's actually low and right just a little bit. It's actually very low because the top's very thick as compared to the bottom. The left is off, left to right, thick left, thin right. So this is going to be more of a 9 just because of that. We do have a little bit of fur. What the fur is, and you can barely see it. Man, it's not showing up. There it is. It's showing up just a little bit right here. But what it is just when the cutter went through, it just left a little bit. Think of it like slivers. These would be the slivers on the edge of wood. I do have a process to just basically knock those off because they're not supposed to be there. They were supposed to be cut off. I don't think that it needs to be left on there. I think knocking the rest of that off would be normal. So I knocked those off for you guys, no problem. Make sure that looks as straight as possible. Okay, these I'm going to hold because he's got a bunch of those, and I'll just run through those quickly. All right, next one's up. This guy did both for us. He buys most of these on eBay, I believe. Again, I don't know exactly. I don't We talk about cards all the time. He asks me thoughts, helps me, or had me actually bid on one for him to see if I could get it because the guy blocked him. It's funny when people block people who are actually trying to buy a card. He just wasn't offering the number the guy wanted. So you can see here on this side, you see how it's got that little bit of fur. That's a chunk that when it slid off, maybe the thing popped up near the end, and it just didn't quite get that white area. So I have a process to just basically knock that off. Again, to me, that's no different than a soft sanding that you would do on the corner of anything just to get stuff up. So I have a process to do that that doesn't damage the cards. Other than that, it's got some fingerprints, some little stuff, but it looks good. I like it as a 9+. And this video will go out to you guys. So if you guys send cards in, this is the video that goes out. Gives you an explanation of, you know, what I think the cards will do. And then at the end, a lot of guys will just send back and say, hey, look, don't send these 3, send the rest, right? Or don't send these 5 or send the rest. So however you guys like to do it. But once you get the video, you can quickly assess what's worth sending and what's not, and then let me know. So this looks like a European League card. Yeah, DDK, made in the USA. PSA may not grade this. So I told him this when I picked them up, but I said, hey, it's always worth sending across and see. If you're curious if PSA grades a card, just look the card up with PSA on eBay. If there's one out there, then they probably grade it. If there's not, probably they don't. All right, next one. Again, I am going to start going a little faster. I just want to cover a lot of stuff because I am going to share this with everyone with his permission. So hopefully you guys will get the chance to see this because at the end of the day, it's kind of fun to... This card looks fake. That's a fake card, dude. We can send this one if you want to, but I'm 99% sure this is a fake card. I'm going to set this one aside. We're going to come back to it. I think that's fake. I think you got a fake card somehow. And I'll show you one next to it that's the real card from that set, a Bowman U card. That's a fake card, I'm pretty sure. I can show you a couple things. My dad worked for Hewlett-Packard, so I do know a little bit about printing, and by a little bit, I mean a very small amount, but I worked at Hewlett-Packard one summer before I went to college, and so I kind of know certain things to look for. I could be wrong. I don't think I am. So this one looks like a 9, borderline 9+. I'm going to lean 9+ because it's pretty clean, but those paninis have been rough. A lot of 8s and 9s have come out, so I 100% could be wrong. I do love minis. If you guys have not seen how they slab the minis, they are beautiful. This one does have a little chunk there. I'm not going to be able to fix that. Again, I do not color the cards. They will see that. You cannot match the ink. It's not possible. So that one's going to be like an 8, 9. I'm going to lean 8. I would still slab it just because I think it's going to look really cool. And for his collection, he'll love it. Again, I'm going to take the base panini stuff and we're going to run through that at the end. I'm just going to look through them, call out what it is as we go, and just do it quick. When it's your video, depending on how many cards you send in and how many times you sent in, I will speed up or slow down. And you can always give me feedback. Hey, Josh, next time go a little slower. Hey, Josh, it was fine. Just go a little faster. I just want to know what you think at the end is more important. So different guys have different ways they like to do it. I try to calibrate to the way you like it. So this card looks really clean. Centering isn't bad. It's very close. PSA has shifted to a 55-45 to be a 10. But the thing that I want people to understand is even if the front is, let's say, 60-40, you get a 9 on the front. If everything else is a 10, the card can still get a 10. It's something that you got to understand is that they are doing all 4 things: corners, edges, centering, surface. Okay? If 3 of them are 10s and 1 of them is a 9, you can still get a 10 on the card, right? In theory, that would be a 9.5, but PSA does something called the eye appeal. And so when it's a 9.5, they go, look, does the card have eye appeal? If yes, it's a 10. If no, right, if the issues stand out, they stick out just a little bit, then we'll just go ahead and make it a 9. And that's the wiggle because they don't have 9.5s. So if they had 9.5s like BGS, it'd be a little more pure. I personally like PSA because I don't like all the extra information personally. I also have been collecting PSA longer. Ooh, look, a non-jersey number. What are we going to do? Very good looking card, man. Borderline 9+. Revolution in general is a tough gem, but we do get a decent amount of those. He sent in a bunch. We've sent in a bunch. So we do okay. They are hit and miss. Usually you can tell, though, when they're going to be misses. That one looks pretty good. So this one, again, very nice. What you want to look for is whitening on any of these corners with Revolution. This card looks good, man. 9+. 9+. That looks really nice. I'm surprised because, again, most Revolutions have a little something. Those two look very clean. Pleasantly surprised. Not negative at all. Let's see. A little bit of a corner here. Not too bad, but it's rolled just a little bit. It's pushed back. See how if I hold it like that, you can see it's notched back just a little bit. So I can push it forward just a little bit very gently just to kind of square it. It's not hard. Again, is that changing the card? I don't think so. The card was supposed to be square. I'm not adding anything to it. With that said, you can see it's already got a little bit of crumple damage. So I can't really change that because I can't go in there and ink the card. Again, I wouldn't, but I'm just making a point that once you do that, they definitely catch you. And I'm not doing it. But anyway, you get it. I don't change the card. But yeah, so this one's going to be probably an 8, unfortunately. Still a very cool card, but that little notch there at the top is going to be tough. Again, I'm just going to pull these aside. We'll do the prisms at the end. He's got a bunch of these. He wants to send through any that have a good shot at a 10. So if they're a 9+, a strong 9+, we'll send them across. If they're not, no big deal, because he's got a bunch of these. He jumped in a few breaks with me, and I'm sure a few other people. And so he got a few of these. Maybe even bought a few lots. I had a couple guys, a couple investors who bought a few lots because they just wanted to flip them, which I totally get. We do a lot for people who are collectors. We do some for people who are investors. I even do cards for guys who own hobby shops and a number of guys who sell at card shows. So always happy to help whoever, but it's interesting the eclectic group that we have. But yeah, a lot of guys who are just collectors who love their stuff. So with Puka, a lot of stuff on the face here. It is tough when you are cleaning. You have to miss the sticker, and the sticker's got a few things on it. So you can wipe the sticker dry, but you can't get it wet because a lot of these markers, they'll just run. So you do not want to mess with that. The back needs cleaned up. I like it, probably a 9. 9, borderline 9+. I'm going to lean 9 just because there's a lot there, and I don't know what all is going to come up with the cleaning, but we'll see how much of the fingerprints and all the other stuff on the front that'll come up with cleaning. So this one does have a wavy scratch there. It's not bad. Yeah, probably more of a 9, borderline 9+, but I'm going to lean 9 on that one. I'm going to lean 9 on that one. If you guys are still along with the ride, thank you guys for hanging out. Drop a like if you guys haven't. Subscribe to the channel. We do cards here. We're called Graded Investors because we got a Graded Investors community. My name is Josh, and I do the PSA subs for us. We do have a West Coast guy who does some, but he's just kind of sort of getting started and learning and figuring it all out. So he may expand, who knows? But as of right now, I'm the guy. I am based out of Mississippi, which is good because it's cheap to ship to me and cheap to ship from me. So saves everybody a couple bucks. So we do have a couple bad cells there. You see 1, 2. The cells are supposed to be more oval. So we got 2 bad cells. I don't think they'll crush us on that. Just pointing it out because I want you guys to know that I see the things. Other than that, we just got gunk on the back. And then we do have 1 divot. Let me see if I can get an angle that you can see the divot. It's right there. It's just a little dent. So borderline 9, 9+. I could definitely see this. Jeez Louise. Just had one of those flying moth eater things come in here, or mosquito eaters, that's what it's called, mosquito. Just flew right past my face, freaked me out a little bit. All right. So this one, again, if you just sent this one in as is, it's just got like little dusty, gross spots. That stuff's just going to wipe off. Like literally a damp cloth, wipe off. You could damp with water. You could spit on it. Like it's just nothing, but why would you send it in? Because I think these are oils, right? You see all these oils? That's why when people say you can't mess with the card, you just have to send it in, I go, I don't think so. I think you can wipe this stuff off. This was added after the fact. That is not the way the card is supposed to be. So that'll clean up nice and easy. And you can see it's a very clean card on the back. Now, if you said, hey, look, there's some whitening here. I'm going to take a marker and mark it black. Yes, that's cheating. Don't do that, right? You're changing the card at that point. And people have, and PSA catches it. They know how to look for it. I could tell you how, where it is. So we don't change things. We just wipe things off and try to make the card as whole as possible. So this one does have a scratch coming off it right there. I think that scratch is actually going to clean. I think that's like a scuff mark. So that should come off the top. Again, plastic on top, plastic on the back, paper in the middle. So these cards do have the possibility of getting scuffs because the plastic can scuff. I like this one as a borderline 9.9 plus. I'm going to lean 9 plus. It's a nice card. I like the anti-gravity. It's just kind of a fun card. I think Hoops is a fun set. And the Hoops premium stock stuff is good-looking cards for sure. Yeah, so this one's a borderline 9.9 plus, but this one I am going to lean 9. It's got a few more scratches. So what happens is when this thing is running down the line, sometimes the scratches happen on the back. Some of them are worse than others. I don't know why. I'd always be curious to go see the line one time just for fun. But we have videos out there. The community has videos out there. The collecting community as a whole of different lines of cards and how they print. So we have an idea. We do have a swirl scratch right there. It's kind of down and around. So this is going to be more of like an 8-9. I'm going to lean 8 on this one. We'll see how it does if he decides to send it, but that swirl scratch is going to get us. It's also in a dominant spot where it really catches the eye. So a little bit of a scratch here. And if you're curious why I pay more attention to the front, PSA does grade the front a little more strict than the back, just in general. So this has just got some gunk here. But it looks good. I like that one as a borderline 9 plus. It does have some fur on the bottom. You can see a little bit of overrun. I will clean that up. That's just stuff that should have been taken off with the blade. I do not recut cards. That's another thing that people used to do in the 80s and 90s. They would cut cards to make them look more centered. You can't do that. They're going to catch it. I've never done it. The only thing I do is I have a process to basically, I call it soft sanding. It's not technically sanding. I just use a thick microfiber, but it just kind of grabs up the little stuff that should have came off with the blade. I'm not changing the size of the card. I'm just getting this little stuff off that should be off. But this one's got a little bit of a notch here. I don't know. This one's close. I'm going to call it a 9. Depending on how well I clean it up, it could move to a 9 plus, but I'm going to call it a 9. Let's see here. Again, I'm going to try to go a little faster. Otherwise, this is going to be an hour and a half long video. But I appreciate you guys hanging out. Yeah, looks good. 9 plus. That one looks fine. All the stuff on it, I think I can clean up. A lot of those hooplas, for whatever reason, they've got the fur on the edges, so I don't know what that means, but that is what's happening. God, he is just such a long dude. 9 plus looks good. Again, no edge wear, no corner wear. That's what we're looking to find on these types of cards, especially because you can see the yellow. You can see this got a little bit of a hit on the corner there, just barely. It's not even bad. Yeah, it's actually, you can't even hardly tell from the edge, so it's really not bad at all. I like that one as a borderline 9.9 plus. I'm going to lean 9 plus, but I will work to flatten that corner out just a touch. I think probably somebody bumped it, but it didn't mess with the edge too bad, which is great. Just messed with the corner just a little bit. So we got a mark there. That should come up. We got a little scratch there. That's not going to move. That's not going to move. That should come up. So yeah, borderline 9.9 plus. I'm going to lean 9. I'm going to lean 9 on that one here. These are cool. I do like these. The Ultra Pros. Keeps everything super thin. It's not quite a top loader. It's super thin, but it's just rigid enough. It's kind of like a semi-rigid. So if you're looking for something to ship thin, like inexpensive cards, I wouldn't ship expensive cards, but under $20 cards, those are great for shipping. Those are really good. And if anybody wants to see those, let me know. I can pop a link on this, but very, very cool. This is cool. It's got almost like a kaboom back to it. I don't know if you guys can see that. Yeah, you can see it at this angle. It's pretty sick, actually. This must be from the Caitlin Clark collection. It's got to be, right? Yeah. So these are tough. They're going to grade tough. You got a little bit of an edge here. Not too bad, but the corner's bumped, or the edge just inside of the corner's bumped. I like it as a 9. It's got a little bit of a top corner here, too. Right there, you can see that top corner's got a little whitening to it. So I'm going to say it's more of a 9. Raining threes. Caitlin Clark's been a phenomenon. And do you guys notice anything about the Caitlin Clark? Her number is 22, so there you go. He got number 22. Again, if you got a person he likes, guy or gal. Yeah, so this one's got a little bit of fur, and the reason I run my finger across here is you see this little white thing moved twice when I ran my finger across, which means it's barely holding on. I just have to knock it off. It's kind of silly, but when those things kind of get on there, they try to stay. And so I'm just going to rub that off really easily. So yeah, that's going to be a 9+ once that rubs off. And I've got just a nice thick piece of microfiber cloth, and it knocks it off real easy. It just catches it. Takes away the static cling that's allowing it to kind of stay there. You just don't want to send anything in that's got extra stuff on it that doesn't need to be there. Easy to clean up. Doesn't take but a few seconds on my end. So we do have a little bit of a dent right there. You see that? It's right there. That little marks my finger. I wiped across there, but a little dent right there. That will not come up probably. It looks like it's a dent into the card. I don't think it crushes the card. It puts us a borderline 9+. I'm still going to lean 9+ because I don't see it getting lower than a 9 because it's still a very straight card. These are cool. I love Photogenic. This is the Shoe Game. Really, really cool card. I've got breaks of Shoe Game going for football right now, and they are, a Photogenic. We're hoping to hit a Shoe Game. They're gorgeous cards, man. Really, really nice cards. The bad thing is it's hard to see it because of the lighting. Golly, I can't get you guys to see it. There we go. A little bit of shadowing. Do you see how there's a notch missing there? So there's a notch missing there. There's a bunch of stuff missing on this bottom edge. This whole bottom edge is tattered. So this is going to be a 7, maybe an 8. That right there, I should be able to get up. I could feel it. So this back is paper, so you have to be really gentle, but I should be able to get up that, whatever that is, piece of candy or something. But this card's going to get a 7 or 8. You can see this person cut the edge for me, so I didn't have to. Good. But yeah, those are tough cards. They're all going to be really, really tough. If any get a 10, they're going to be huge because of that. The population's going to be ridiculously low, but still a cool card. I would send it across, but that's just because he wants to keep them long term, and you might as well protect it and not let it get any more damage. So a little scratch here, a little scratch there. Dent here. This is going to be more of a 9, maybe an 8. With thicker cards, a 9 feels like a 10, if that makes sense. Gemming a card like this, a thicker card like this, is always a little bit tough. It's going to be a borderline 9, 8. I'm going to lean 9. We'll see how it does. I'll clean up everything I can on it, make it look as nice as possible. Ooh, you did not get jersey number on this, but still a very cool card. Shohei Ohtani 2020 triple auto. Triple threads. This card is cool. Wow, it's flat. That is sick. It's matte. A matte finish card, I think is what it's called, not flat. So we got a little mark right here. You guys can see that a little bit, right? It's hard to see because the card is matte. But it's like right there. Yeah, when I shadow it, you can see it right there. It's just 2 little dots. So, but yeah, this is a nice card. I think it's going to do well. I'm going to put that as a borderline 9, 9+. Because all those corners and edges are actually really, really nice, which is a surprise. So I'm going to lean 9+ on that one because it's very nice. The Bedard King. The Bedard. Oh, that's so weird. Somebody put this in a thick boy. See how much space there is? They put it in like a 100, even though that card is a 25-point card. It's a very thin card. But what are you going to do? I will say this, Upper Deck grade, tough. This is a borderline 9, 9+. I'm going to lean 9 because the edges are a little bit rough. Just a little bit. But we will lean 9. He does have some Bedards as well. Kind of some of the hottest guys out there, but a ton. And Victor Wembanyama, he loves, as you can see, the jersey numbers. Jersey number Victors all over the place. It's a big collection. It's going to go into a very nice, and I don't do this for everyone, but I'm going to fly this one back out to him. I go visit my buddy in Southern California, and then he drives and we meet halfway. But I will put all of these in a case for him. I will fly with them on my lap. So we do have a little whitening there, a little whitening there. This is going to be more of a 7 or an 8 because that sucks. That's the plastic that I talk about that's on the card. It lost its connection here, and so it's lifting up just a little bit. So it's going to be a 7 or an 8 on this one. He's going to probably still get it done. It's a great patch. It's a good-looking card. It's jersey number, but that plastic coming up is considered damage to the card. The card is considered damaged from PSA, so they do mark it a little harder. So it's going to probably get a 7 or an 8, unfortunately. I'll do what I can, but it's tough to get that to lay back down because I can't introduce anything. So I can't introduce like a little bit of glue would get it to lay back down. But if you do that, then it'll be tampered with, and we don't tamper with cards again. A little bit of gunk on this top here. I think that's going to come up. I can feel it kind of moving. Yeah, you can see when I rub my finger across it, that's just finger oils probably. Ooh, damn it. That one is friggin' destroyed. That sucks. Do you see that? So what this one has right here, it's really hard to get it to show up because of the angle. But it's got like an indentation right through here, like a press mark. Yeah, you can see it right there decently. Right through there. So that card's going to get like a 3. So if we send that across, that one's going to get destroyed. We sent one across because he was curious and it got a 2. So we know that I'm at least right sometimes, because that one I thought was going to be a 3 or 4 and it got a 2. So again, another out of 1 or 1 out of 99. So jersey number. A little bit of markings on the back. I like this one as a 9. The Panini cards are tough from the National. They were very tough this year. They did not grade particularly well. They looked great. Although I would argue they didn't do as well with this National as they did with the last National. The last National was fire. 23. The 24 National was a little bit less cool, but ooh, 1 out of 88. These got to be the Chinese cards, because if I remember correctly, the Chinese like the number 8. So that would be why they would do 88 to make it super lucky. Little whitening on this top corner. I used to gamble with a Chinese guy. We used to play poker together. Called him Jack Deuce Willie. His the American name he took on was Willie, and he loved playing Jack Deuce. If you know anything about poker, not a particularly good hand. With that said, he would jam that sucker through. Sometimes he'd play it like they were aces and confuse people. So, fun guy to play cards with. A heck of a character. I definitely hung out with him outside of cards as well. We had a little group of guys who, go grab food every once in a while, hang out. So, cool guy. Willie, if you're watching this, miss you, brother. He lives in Oregon. I'm down in Mississippi, as I said. So, this one looks good. Again, rounded edges. So, probably more of an 8-9. I'm going to lean 8 just because I know how Panini can be with die cuts. With the die cut, what you're looking at is this little edge here and this corner here should look the same, the silver corner. They're close. And then you're looking at the gaps on these purples, on these purple edges. Do those purple grapes, whatever these things are, look similarly sized? They look close, but those bottom edges are just a little bit beat up. So I'm going to call that more of an 8. We will see how it performs. This card is sick. Court Kings Basketball. This card is sick. Again, jersey number 001. If you're holding jersey number, holler. All right, let's see what we got here. Super nice. Love the look. It's a great look. Yeah, looks good. That's a 9+. 9+. It's just got a little bit of a corner there, just a little bit of whitening on that corner, but I don't see it get less than a 9 ever. It's going to do fine. Hopefully we got a shot, outside shot. That one doesn't even need anything. I'll give it a soft wipe on the front and the back just to make sure any, dandruff type stuff isn't on the front, but that's a great looking card. Rookie Rising. So scratch marks coming down the front, that stuff coming off the line. That's not going to go away, but it is 1 out of 35. I'm going to guess this is going to be a 9-8. I'm going to lean 8. I hate to do it, but that's what I think they're going to score it. I think he's still going to send it in. It's a cool card. It's jersey number. It's out of 35. And push comes to shove. If he decides to sell it, he can decide if it's worth more raw or slabbed in the future. That's completely up to him. I think he's holding, though, so I don't know if that's I don't know if it sells anytime soon or even at all. Who knows? But some scratching right through here. You can see it. Great patch, though. Little 3 color, maybe 4, depending on if you consider those 2 different styles of white. And, of course, jersey number. But that one's probably an 8. Probably an 8 on that one. Ohtani. Everybody needs some Ohtani in their PC. This guy's a monster. One of my best buys I bought some Ohtani refractors before the 2020 season, right before the 2020 season, because he had just been injured. So we do have some nasty fingerprints on this one, right through here. This is a paper card, so I'll have to be real gentle with it, but I should get these up. Nasty fingerprint there. Yeah, this is going to have a shot. It's a 9+ on this one, so we'll see how it does, but should have a shot. Man, Ohtani is a guy that, like, some people didn't think he was the guy. I just like the idea of him. That's why I spent a couple $100 on a bunch of his refractors. And then when he popped off, I sold a bunch of them because, you know, they got up to almost 500 at one point. So I sold a bunch between 300 and 500. Got a little bit of a corner here. That corner's just a little bit notched. You see the kind of the triangle there. It's where the corner's just a little hit. It's not bad. I do think it makes this one more of a 9. But I'll see if I can get it to flatten just a touch. If it flattens, maybe it's okay. With this one, I'm going to cut the top gently. Please don't do tape like this. I hate it. It's really bad for the person on the other side. It's not great for the card. I have one of these in gold left. It's one of my last Ohtanis. I think it got a 9. It's a great card. One of my last rookie Ohtanis. I have other Ohtanis. But Ohtani and I have made a little bit of money together. And maybe I'll be disappointed if he ends up being even better. So this one's going to probably be a 9. Ugh. See, this is what I'm talking about. That's the stuff that I get up for you guys. Because that's just nasty fingerprints. I don't know what somebody did to this, but if you run your finger over it, you can feel that it's stuff on top of the card. It's not in the card. It's on the card. And that's just disgusting. It's almost like somebody put a booger back there. But I do think this is going to be like a 9-8. We'll see how much of that I can get up. It is paper, so I have to be very gentle. You don't want to wipe away the paper. If you guys ever do decide to clean, I know you can wipe away the paper because I've practiced on cards just to see how rough you can be, how aggressive you can be. I always suggest, you know, find a paper card like that before you do that card. Practice on the card, put some stuff on it, try to get the stuff off. It seems stupid, but practice on base cards before you injure or hurt a card that you care about, if that makes sense. So this one, a couple scratches, couple things, probably a 9. Probably a 9, but it's a refractor, so I think he'll probably end up sending it. Long-term hold again, because if this guy ends up being a stud, this collection is going to be worth a decent chunk of money. So a lot of scratches across this one. You can see them. Just different scratches on this. So, but I like it as a 9, borderline 9+ if I can get the back clean. The scratches will not come up, but again, PSA is not as stringent with the back as they are the front. The front, they're going to be very, very tough on. The back, they're a little more flexible. See, again, just gross stuff. Let's see if I can show that. Yeah, you see that? I can feel, when you run your finger over it, I can feel it. It's going to come up. It's gross. Might take me a couple passes, but probably more of a 9. But yeah, that'll come up. That'll clean up fine. But at $27 a card, he's going to win on a lot of these. The caveat is $27 only covers the cards up to $500 value. So if the card is in excess of $500 value, they upcharge you based on the value of the card. So, for example, let me pull one of these cards. Let's see. This one right here. Oops, let me zoom back out for you guys. That card right there is going to catch an upcharge. You know, if this gets a 10, it might cost him $150. But if it gets a 9, it may only be a $75 upcharge. So the beauty of sending these in bulk with everyone else's is if they upcharge you, it's going to be based on the score. And so you don't pay up front based on what you think the score will be. You pay on the back end based on what the score actually is. And the reason they upcharge, and I know some people don't like it, and I respect that. I respect not loving it. But from a business perspective, they give you more insurance. And also, if they were to ever slab the wrong card, they would refund the person fully. So they have insurance on if they make a mistake, meaning we sent in a card, the card was fake, they slabbed it on accident, you bought it, they would fully refund you your purchase price. They wouldn't go after me because I didn't make the mistake, they did. So kind of interesting, just information. I like PSA a lot. I think they do, in general, a pretty good job with how many cards they push through. They're doing 1.5 million a month is insane. That one's more of a 9, borderline 9+. We'll see how it cleans up. Clarity, interesting card. I didn't know they had a clear card in Elite, but it does make some sense that they're going to add some cards since Wembanyama has less auto. So there is a mark right here, a little scratch. That is not going to come up. Unfortunately, on these ones, it's an all plastic card. So, but it's probably a 9, borderline 9+. I mean, it's going to do fine. I think that one's going to do fine. The tough part for him is that so many of these cards are just cards that he loves, and he bought them because he loved them, and he wants to get them slabbed up because it's going to go into his PC for a long time, and then, you know, if something happens. Ooh, 10, not 1. Oof, oof, oof. Fingerprints around here, probably a 9. Again, thicker cards are tough. 9s feel like 10s when you get them, and 10s feel like 11s. So that's my joke I make with people is, man, if you can get a 9 on a... This one, I don't know. I mean, this is out of those... Sorry, trying to be very careful on this because I still don't want to damage it, even if it's not a huge card. I try not to hurt anybody's cards because at the end of the day, I'm a collector just like you guys are, and I love cool cards, and I like to keep my cards nice, so it doesn't matter what the card is. But yeah, these were out of the, it's a shorter print out of the, it's actually super clean. Wow. There's one little dent there and a little scratch there. Oh no, that's a tree branch. Huh. I looked at it this way, it's a tree branch. I can't tell, maybe it's a scratch. But yeah, this is probably a 9+. But these were out of the Halloween cards that you could get, but it's one of the shorter prints out of that. I think. I didn't open a ton of that stuff. I opened a couple packs just for fun, and then I gave away a bunch for people, for, you know, them or their kids or whoever. Topps Chrome is going to have basketball in about 16 months. It's going to be insane. A lot of fingerprints on this one, but it should straighten out. I like it, 9+. Again, guys, if you are hanging out, man, if you haven't dropped a like, please do. Appreciate you guys very, very much. And like I said, if you do want to send some cards in, you guys can jump on Instagram, Facebook, or just email me direct, gradedinvestors with an S at gmail.com. Gradedinvestors@gmail.com. We've got a great community on Facebook. You guys can check us out there. If you guys are here on YouTube, we've got, I think we're just about to cross 3,000 subs when I'm making this video, so we'll see where we're at after it. That one was a 9+. But yeah, it's been a great fun growing the community and just finding a bunch of like-minded people who like sending cards into PSA. We run breaks. We do all kinds of fun stuff, so we thought it'd be cool to share one of the things we do. We don't always do this. That's interesting. So there's a print defect there because as I run my finger over it, I can't feel it. So there's a print dot on, like, I don't know what you want to call this. Maybe this is the glass around like a walkthrough in like a spaceship of some sort. I don't know. It looks cool though. I like it. So yeah, a little print defect, not huge, but it's there. Borderline 9+. I'm gonna lean 9+ because I don't think that print defect kills us. I think it makes the front like a 9.5 because of the defect. And so it still has a better than not chance of getting a 10. So this one's got some markings right here. Looks like it was dragged over something. And it looks like those are going to be permanent. Again, sometimes the marks are on top of the plastic. Sometimes they're actually underneath the plastic. And if they ever get underneath the plastic, there is almost nothing you can do because basically you'd have to remove the plastic, fix the issue, and then put the plastic back on. You're never getting the plastic back. Sorry, I have no clue how you'd get the plastic back on. I really don't. And I've pulled the plastic off of like a base card just for fun because I wanted to show people. So I actually have one over there with the plastic coming off. But that's more because I just wanted people to see how it works. So we do have some light scratching through here. Probably a 9, maybe an 8. Yeah, probably a 9. Maybe an 8, probably not. These cards are tough because I think they're cool. I think they could end up being iconic down the road. especially if she ends up being who we think she is. And so far, I mean, she bulked up a little bit, put on a little extra muscle. If she keeps doing that every year, could be incredible. Same thing as this one, just a few scratches up the side. Again, the prisms we're going to hold till the end. I'm just going to run through those because, again, he just wants the 9 pluses to go. So I'm just going to look at them, decide if they have a shot. Again, I know this video is long. I also know that I've been saying again too many times. It's about 9 o'clock at night. I just got back from the gym and I decided to get this done because he's been waiting for a little bit. Not that there's much we can do other than wait till the end of the month because that's when everybody's goes out. Although you have enough to send them on your own, but I always send them with friends. Looks like a borderline 9 plus. I'm going to lean 9 plus. It's a good look card. Full capacity. That must be an SP. Yeah, I think that's a case hit. Maybe not. Maybe it's a, I don't know, 9 plus. 9 plus. These are the base for the more basic. Again, he's got an eclectic collection. Clean in the front. Looks good on the back. 9 plus. Somebody used a team bag and tape. Don't be that guy. Don't be that guy. Nobody likes it. Tape is especially bad with paper cards because the paper card, if it gets stuck on it, it'll rip the paper and then you just have a card that's a little shittier. These are kind of, 10 or bust. If you get a 9, it's just not worth much. But, for a PC card, who cares? I've got all kinds of funny PC cards. One of my favorites is that Dino right there. It got an 8. Don't even care. It's a 1993 Flintstones NFL card. It's silly, but I'm a Vikings fan, so I kind of love it. Somebody sent that in to me as a gift, and I sent it off to get it graded because I was like, oh, this is cool. I'm going to get it graded. So appreciate you guys who send stuff in. You never have to, but anybody who does, it's always appreciated. It's really cool, especially like weird, eclectic, fun stuff like that I just couldn't find myself. That's so cool. So the centering on this one's incredible. When you look at the gap on the top and the bottom, so how thick that is versus how thick that is, it's very close. The left and right, maybe the left's a tiny bit thicker than the right, but overall, very, very nice. And look at this, barely a little bit of whitening on this corner. The other 3 corners are very nice. So that is a very crispy card. 9 plus, very nice. We're back to the plastic tape where I got to pull out the blade. If you do have to get into this stuff, the sharper the knife, the better, because it's less likely that you'll power through and cut yourself or the card. Also, I try to, you notice I'm using it so that the blade goes away from the card. Sorry, just little things that I think about. Yeah, 9 plus, nice card. So this is just the first step of the process. The next step, I set these cards into a box, and then when I have time, I pull them back out and I go through and I clean each and every one and make sure that they're ready to go after he tells me or after you tell me which ones you want to send across. So see this one, that corner got hit again. Look at that. I know from the front because when you're looking at it, it's flat through here, and then all of a sudden the light bounces differently right up here in this corner, and you can see the corner's just mowed down. That's so tough. That's so frustrating. And with these boxes, I would assume it happened during shipping. I don't know why they don't design these particular boxes better. There's too much space. There's too much space in the box, so the packs bounce around. It's very annoying. Very annoying. It actually made me want to pull or rip less of these and like breaks and stuff. Actually, that's going to probably be an 8, I'll be honest. That's going to probably be an 8. Because I've done breaks of these in the past, and I just was very disappointed with the quality control on the way that they designed it. It's just going to get damaged a decent percentage of the time. So this one, you can see there's just little white dots every once in a while. That stuff should come up. See it moved with my thumb. Yeah, this is a 9, borderline 9 plus. I'm going to lean 9. Just because those dots are there and very easy to see. Again, don't be this guy. Don't put tape on stuff. Get team bags. If you don't know where to get them, ask. I'll help you get some. They're 3 to 5 cents a piece. They're not expensive, depending on where you buy them and how many you buy. I buy them by the case because I'd just rather have them than not. A case is like $150 for 10,000 or 1,000 or whatever the number is. I can't remember. But you get a ton for like $150. I think it's 10,000. Yeah, that's a nice card. Borderline 9.9 plus. I'm going to lean 9 plus. It's very close between a 9 and a 9 plus. Again, these cards here, I'm just going to set these aside. We'll do these at the end. But to save time, I'm just going to pull them out of their top loader right now. Because the top loaders I recycle, I'll use these in future breaks and stuff. Because all these cards need to go across in Card Saver 1s. So if you guys don't know, we send the cards across in these. They don't bounce around as much, and I can get more cards into a box. And so I actually use the Card Saver 1 boxes to ship the cards to PSA. And I do this all the time, keeps the cards safe. The cards don't get damaged because in the Card Saver 1s, they barely move around. And then they're inside of a box. And that box is, let's just say if I had to do the cradle and egg while we drop it off a 10-foot tall, building or whatever, I would crush that anymore because I'm very good at creating a nice system where the cards are protected, or the box inside is protected. At this point, I'm just talking to talk because somebody numbered all these. Number 3, number 12, number 16. Wonder why. Ruining penny sleeves. And when I do clean the cards, I do cycle every single card into new penny sleeves. It's one of my pet peeves. These penny sleeves are gross. If you are going to take the time to clean a card, put it into a brand new penny sleeve. It doesn't cost but a penny, 1.5 cents depending on what you pay. And if anybody needs plastic, penny sleeves, anything like that, just let me know. Let me know. I've got a ton of that stuff around and I can definitely get you. Wow, why are we writing on the top loader now? Makes it less likely that I want to reuse them, but I'll still reuse them just because top loaders are inexpensive, but who wants to buy new top loaders when you can reuse old ones? We also exchange these cards at night after a long shift. He's a doctor, so he was working a late shift, and I had just gotten done with some games, watching a hockey game. So he kind of said, all right, just take all these. I don't remember which ones I'm sending with you, but make the video, and we'll figure out what to do. And I said, sounds good, man. I'm tired. And then we went and got food. So these are interesting cards. I don't know if they're even going to slab these. I would assume they are. But really, really freaking cool. And it makes me want to go get a couple of these just for fun because this is the kind of weird stuff that ends up being worth a decent amount of money. I'm going to lean 9 plus on that one. I really don't know on these, to be honest. I've not sent off a ton of Cracker Jack cards. I have sent off other different sized cards. But so this one, you can see the top is very thin. The bottom is very thick. Left to right is pretty close. So I don't know. I'm still going to lean 9 plus on this one because everything else on the card is very crispy. Corners, edges are all really nice, which I'm a little surprised because this is coming out of a candy or a Cracker Jacks, whatever. What would you call Cracker Jacks? Like a candy snack thing? It's like popcorn or something. I don't know. I haven't had Cracker Jacks since I was like 8. Yeah, see, there's just little small marks on it, but I'll get those up. I think those are just fingerprint stuff. So yeah, it looks clean, looks good. This is one of a series of pictures of famous basketball players and coaches sold in boxes, one free collectible in each box. Interesting. So these, in theory, came out of boxes. They're in pretty good shape. He had a couple that were miscut, and I just sent those back with him. Said, hey, these ones probably I wouldn't send. But yeah, this one looks more like a 9 maybe, but borderline 9 plus. I don't know. I'll lean 1.9. I think he's going to send all these. These are fun. I mean, shoot, maybe I'll talk him out of one. See if he'll sell me one. See, this one's very top heavy. The bottom's very thin. But the rest of the card's really crispy. Like even the corners and the edges are super crispy. So they printed these really well and cut them really well. Just a little off-centered because this one's even pretty off-centered, but they look good. I had one guy, he had sent in a bunch of the old like Tiger Woods rookie card out of Sports Illustrated for kids, and I told him, man, these cards are so freaking cool. He goes, oh, there's a bad one in there for you. And I was like, oh, that's dope. So I have a Tiger Woods that scored like a PSA 2 because he paid for my grading as well, which incredibly kind. You guys do not have to do that stuff, but it was so cool. So yeah, so I have a ridiculous Tiger Woods. Why did I think there was plastic there? Apparently there is not. That's hilarious. I thought somebody taped that. Nobody did, just that. But yeah, so he gave me that. That was incredibly cool. So now I have a ridiculous Tiger Woods, number 1. Again, just a bunch of gunk on this. You see this? Most of this should come up, I hope. I'll go at it. I'm going to say it's more of a 9, and if all that stuff cleans up, it moves up to a 9+, so we'll see. But yeah, the Tiger Woods in a 2. What's crazy is it's still like a $300 or $400 card, which is insane. I cannot believe he gave it to me, but he said his kid had him and he didn't care. I was like, that's pretty cool. And maybe it's not $300 or $400, maybe it's a couple hundred. I know the price was higher during the pandemic. So this one's got a dimple right there. See that dimple right there, right above my thumb? It's probably more of a 9 because of that dimple. I don't think it kills the card because, again, it's on the back, but very dimply. Oh, man. Sudden impact out of Topps Chrome. So I don't know if you guys saw that corner, that piece of paper was lifted up. All I did was move the piece of paper down, but that got jammed up with the paper. Probably more of a 9. What happens sometimes is people go to put them in, and this plastic, this is a semi-hard one. It's not hard, but it's semi-hard as compared to this, just so you can see the difference. This is stupid stuff I think about. But see how this one makes more noise? Maybe you're not hearing it. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe it's late at night. But this one's just a little bit harder than the ones I use. And so if for some reason you hit it dead on, you could easily cut kind of that paper area. The white area is paper. There's the plastic top layer and the plastic bottom layer. And so somehow it got underneath that. So I'm going to have to work that corner a little bit and just kind of square it up. Again, it's just getting it back to where it was before somebody messed it up. I will not add anything to it. I will just square it up as best I can. So it's probably more of a 9 on that one, unfortunately, because of that little bit of damage along with a few other things on the card I saw. So this one's a 9+. It's a nice card. But at the end of the day, PSA will look it over and they'll tell us what they actually think. That's why they get paid the big dollars, and I just make a couple. So this is, when I'm talking about fur, there's a great example of fur. Let me zoom in on that. You see that? So that, if you're not taking the fur off the card, I mean, that's just an easy way for them to go, oh, your edges are like a 9, so we're going to mark the card down. So I'm going to clean that fur up so that they don't mark us down. And other than that, it looks good. It looks like a 9+. But yeah, I look for fur on the cards, I look for markings on the cards, and I just try to clean them up so that none of that stuff shows. And I've got a weird fingernail going. I don't know if you guys can see that. Actually works super well for cutting these, so I haven't fixed it. I think I was clipping my nails while drinking. No, I'm just kidding. Just late at night. And I didn't notice I flattened it off, and I just somehow didn't get that edge. But now it works really well for cutting the edge of cards, so I've left it that way for a week. Looks like a 9+, film steady. Interesting card. I don't know. I'm not the biggest fan of what do you want to call it? Non-authorized cards or whatever. I do love Topps Chrome. I look forward to when Topps Chrome is back, which, again, 12 to 16 months away. We're definitely getting close. This one's got a little mark right there, but I'm not sure if it's going to move. I can feel it. I can't tell what it is. So I'll have to work on that a little bit. But it looks like a borderline 9+. I'll lean 9+. That was, I believe, out of Blasters. Most videos aren't this long. This is one of the longer ones. Ooh, it's a double number. So this one's going to take some cleaning. Borderline 99 plus. I'll leave 9 plus. Oh man, we got a bunch of these. 1, 2, 3. Okay, these I'll do at the end as well. Little pink parallel. That looks pretty good. Centering is pretty good on this one. 9 plus. Greatness begins. $22 out of $49. Jersey number. The matte finish is filthy. So this corner just needs a little bit of work. This bottom left corner, there's a little bit of a mark through here, and there's some paper loss. So we'll probably get a 9, unfortunately. There's a little bit of a rub on the back. Not bad, not bad, not bad, not bad. I do not like when people do these. I don't like these stickers over the top. Here's what you all need to do, okay? Other breakers out there, if you're watching this, reach out if you're curious. There's a company that makes these. You get your own logo up here. This is mine. That's the way I had it broken up. They can make them black. They can make them whatever color you want. That's actually painted onto or sprayed by a computer or whatever. I don't know how it works. But it's actually on there, and then you got a one-touch, and you don't need a sticker anymore. And then you just close it with a one-touch bag, and it's absolutely gorgeous. So if you guys jump in my breaks, that's how I do it with the big cards. I do not put these stickers over the top, which ruin top loaders and look stupid. Thank you for coming to my complaining. I'm just kidding. Number 1, again, bang, bang. So again, on this one, little mark there, a little bit of edge issue here. Let's see if I can show that edge issue. Yeah, see, it's got a matte finish, so it doesn't want to show it. But yeah, you can see it. It's a little bit right here. It's just chewy. But yeah, overall nice. I think it's a 9. Case hit. Is this a case hit? I think these are case hits in basketball. I don't know if it was in this set. Artistic Impressions. It's a sick hit, though. It looks cool, man. It's just got an interesting vibe. Borderline 9 plus. I'll lean 9 plus. I did think it was weird that this year in football they switched up crunch time to a case hit. I don't know if I love that. Sorry, to a hobby only case hit. It was a case hit before, but at least it was a. So this one's got a little whitening on this corner. I'll have to work that a little bit, see if I can get it cleaned up. It's actually got it both corners. I'm going to lean towards a 9. Small chance of an 8, but I'll lean 9. So I think I can get it to where it's pretty okay. But we will see. By the way, if I ever tell you, hey, look, I think this card's going to be okay, and you say send it across, and when I go to clean it, it just does not get to where I'm happy with it, I'll shoot you a message. Shoot you a message and say, hey, just so you know, I kind of feel like this is still more of an 8. Do you want me to send it or no? And then you can make the final call. So if I send something, it's because I think it got to where I wanted it to get. I do review the videos to remember. I do keep them in order, if that makes sense. So a little bit of scratching through here. Again, probably more of a 9, 8. I'm gonna lean 9 again because the front is straight, but we will see. We will see what they do to us on those ones. But I'm always calibrating on the cards. A couple scratches there. Yeah, 8, 9. I'm going to lean 8 on this one. We'll see. But when cards come back and they don't score well, I try to look over them and see if there's something I might have missed or see if there's something that they're hitting us a little harder on now because they made a change. I don't know if that change is going to be major, minor, but we will see. Again, hate these stickers. I hate these stickers. They ruin top loaders. Why in the world was that so stuck in there? I don't love that either. Yeah. A little bit of a funny bottom because of that. See that little bit of a mark right there, and then there's a tiny one there. Okay. I think the card's fine, though. Yeah. Borderline 9.9 plus. I'm leaning 9 plus on this one. And if you're curious what I mean by borderline 9.9 plus, I mean, I'm kind of in the middle between the two. And if I lean a direction, that's kind of where I think it's going to fall, meaning I just don't really see that getting less than a 9. So I'm going to lean 9 plus. But it might be more of like a 70-30, 70% 9, 30% 10 opportunity there. And again, that's my assessment based on what I think they'll do with cards like that. I think they're way more accurate. They do it every single day. They know what they're doing. I do this once a month, and I give an assessment based on what I remember. So they have actual parameters, secondary people looking at it. So they do a good job in general. I know they make their mistakes. Everybody does, but I think they do a pretty good job. So some stuff right through here that needs cleaned up, but it looks good. I like it as a 9 plus. When I say it like that, 50-50 or better. I think it's a 50-50 shot at getting a 10 or better. 9 plus, nice card. Nine plus, nice card. Centering on those are actually pretty sharp. I think this is Deca, if I remember correctly. Prism Deca. Yeah, it says it on the bottom. Prism Deca. So the easiest way is to look at these top corners and these bottom edges and just see the gaps between the smallest areas, if that makes sense. Give you a good idea. This one's got dent, dent, dent. It's a borderline 9.9 plus. I'm going to lean 9 on this one just because of the dents. I think it's a 9 more often than not. But a good looking card. 9 plus, nice card. Do we have another Bowman? That's my question now. Otherwise, maybe I'm wrong. We'll send that Bowman in either way if he wants. See what PSA says, but see, it's got just junk right there. I just got to get that up. 9 plus once that gets cleaned. Yeah, and man, this will take me hours to clean. This is just the video. The cleaning itself will take a while as well. So this one is a borderline 9.9 plus. It does have a dent there, but it's just the one, so I think we're going to be good. It's got a second small one right there, there, and there. But I'm going to lean 9 plus with it anyway. Prism Deca. It's funny. They have what they think is one of the greatest NBA players to ever NBA, and so they go, let's make a new set. What can we do as a set? What can we make? What if we did Prism Deca? What is Prism Deca? I don't know. Prism 10. It's like the 10th year we've done Prism or something. Maybe people will believe it. 9 plus. Let's see here. So centering on this one's close. It's a little thicker on this side. Dent there. I don't know. That one's close. Close to a 9 plus. The fun thing with this video, guys, is you'll be able to come back and re-watch this when the return happens, which again should be end of April, early May is my estimation. So if you watch this and you want to watch the return to see how accurate I am, shoot, I would even love if somebody wrote down, hey, you said this card was going to be this. That's what it got. Which you won't be able to do for all because there's going to be a bunch of these. But with these ones, because we're trying to get as many 10s as possible, you'll be able to see how many 10s we got. If we got 60% 10s, that's pretty good. If we get 80% 10s, that's great. If we get 40% 10s, that's not quite as good when you're really aiming just for 10s. So in general, we typically hit 40 to 50% gem rate, but that's because a lot of people will send in cards that they do not expect to get a 10 just because they love the card. This pile's a pile of cards we don't expect to get a 10. We expect to get a 9. That's why I said they're 9s. But people will still send them because they still like their card. Victor Wembanyama. So a little mark there. I think that comes up. Other than that, it looks pretty straight. Small scratch there. And some nasty fingerprints now because of me. No, actually, I think those are probably somebody else's fingerprint. They do, it's funny, because cards will get fingerprints before they go in here. It's because you got to realize, like, every one of these cards gets put in by somebody. The machine cannot put them into these things. People put them into these things. These are hand put together. So any of these sets that come in one touches are hand put together. The machine does not do this. Not any machine I've ever seen. Maybe in the future robots can do it, but... Look at that. Void if tampered with on my finger. I hate that. That's why I hate all this stuff. Keep these cards clean. Let's not put anything on them. Little mark on the chest. The auto. Now, on the autos, you do have the possibility... Yeah, see, I did not put all these fingerprints on it. I barely touched it pulling it out. So this one needs cleaned up. But this was hand signed. So you got to remember, he also touched it to sign it. So with autos, we can grade just the card and the signature. We can grade the card. You know, you just do anything you want. I like this one as a borderline 9.9 plus. It's always going. I'm just going to put it in the 9 plus pile, but that one's a sick one. He's definitely got some big cards. Big cards. This one's cool. Wembanyama and the Admiral, David Robinson. Why are you not coming out? Come on, buddy. Holy cow. 1 out of 5. That's sick. I don't know why that got hung up there, but it did. So it's got some stuff on his forehead here, some stuff here, some fingerprints down here. Again, are we going to send it in with that mark there, and that mark there if they'll wipe off? No. We are going to wipe those suckers off. So, cool card, numbered out of 5. Pretty sick. We'll get that one cleaned up. I think that's going to be a borderline 9 plus. I'm going to lean 9 plus just because all the corners and the edges are actually really sharp on that. I don't see it getting less than a 9 ever, so just got to get those marks up. If I get those marks up, we'll be good as gold. Another big-time auto. Zachariah. I don't know how he's been playing. I haven't watched much basketball this year. Again, if you don't have a big card mat, I haven't really talked about this on this stream, but get yourself a card mat for working. This one is like, I don't know, 1/2 inch thick almost, 1/4 inch thick. It's very thick. This one I would not grade the signature. The reason why is it's smudged through there. I would just grade the card. There's some cards that you can grade both, but you don't want to take the hit. This one does have a scratch in this guy's hair. It's probably going to be a 9. Probably going to be a 9, and I'm limited on how I can adjust the front. Like, I can clean stuff off, but that scratch it's a scratch in paper. It's just there. But a big-time card, great card to get. Graded for sure. Oof, dude. Apparently we're just ripping this whole thing apart because this thing is destroyed. If you ever get cards with this stuff on them, you can soak them in water for a long time and it'll come off eventually. Just a tip. Victor Wembanyama, level 2. Dope card, 9 plus. Looks incredible. I hope this thing gems because it is gorgeous. It's a gorgeous card. Double checking the corner, but the corner is nice. Very nice card. Victor Wembanyama, number 1 out of 99. He went in. The guy who has this collection went in on this set and bought a bunch of singles. Very cool. He's actually, this was one of the singles he was trying to get. He had me bid on for him because the guy blocked him, which is insane. I'm like, dude, this guy's bought so many of these. Why would you block somebody just because he doesn't want to pay your price? Just say thank you, but no thank you. So a mark there. I'll get those up. No problem. They're both on top. A couple little scratches, but I do put this in the 9 plus category. Very nice card. I think these cards in general are going to grade well just because it is a premium set and it's chromium. Chromium premium sets do well. The premium sets that are paper are the ones that have a tough time. National Treasures, things like that. That's why when a National Treasure RPA gets a 10, it's a big deal. But that's why when they get an 8.5 on a 1 of 1, nobody really cares, because in general, the RPAs don't score particularly well. Little mark on the chest, moved right away. Clean that up. Little there. Some fingerprints on the back. Not too bad. I like it as a 9+. Again, jersey number 1 out of 99. Very nice. Jersey number 1 out of 99. It's crazy that he's gotten this many. Little scratch right there. This is probably more of a 9. We'll see how it cleans up, but I think that scratch is there, unfortunately. Little scratch, probably more of a 9. Again, these ones right here, the autos, I mean, we're going to get an upcharge on these, hopefully, right? Hopefully these get 9s and 10s and we catch an upcharge. If he wants to send these in for dual, it will cost more as well. Dual, so grading the auto and the card costs more. I don't necessarily suggest it. Some people like to. But do you see how in the tail there, it goes from heavy to light? And it's way heavier in the middle. I don't know that this signature is going to go well. They don't grade the signature in the sense of, oh, this guy can sign well or this guy can't. They grade it in the sense of, does the signature look clean across the whole signature? So this is more of a 9. I would just grade that card personally on that one. All the cards are different with the auto. If the auto's super clean, you know, maybe you do both. Oh, look, double bagged. Now we're just throwing lots of plastic around. And if you're curious, I don't send these back either. The main reason why is because at this point, he doesn't want these. He wants them graded. He's going to get them back in graded slabs, so those get recycled. Either I get them out to people who want them after I clean them, or I send them to somebody who wants to clean them and put them. But this one, man, this is tough. I hate this shit. How does that happen? Just scratches. So this card's all scratched up. I mean, it's almost like somebody ran it across the table. I mean, this card was put in a 1-touch, and it still got damaged. It just doesn't make any sense. This is probably a 9, maybe an 8. But it's got to go in. It's part of his collection, and it's jersey number. It's got to go, but man, that's so frustrating. You go, guys, listen, you're the only ones to touch it. There's no way I got those scratches on it. Little dent there. Probably a 9 on this one. Again, 1 out of 45, jersey number. He went in on the jersey numbers. Went in on the jersey numbers. So pretty sick collection. Thank you guys for hanging out. If you're still watching this, man, we are an hour 30 into this. I think he owes me some more animal fries. That's what we went and did after he gave me the cards. He took me over to In-N-Out. So I do get bribed by food. Got some marks here. I think those ones come up. I can feel them. Look at that. A dented corner. That is tough. I'll try to walk that out, but I'm assuming this is going to be more of a 9. Thick boy. Victor Wembanyama. Again, fingerprints all through here. So he signed this, handed it off to somebody. A huge mark right there. That will probably come up. What I'll have to do is basically put a clean rag over this. So a microfiber, just put it right over the top of this. And then I'm going to go at that until I get that up, because that is crazy. But yeah, this is probably more of a 9. It's number 4 out of 49. We missed jersey number on this one, but this is probably more of a 9. Again, the signature isn't super clean. I would just grade the card personally, but it's always hit and miss with grading the signatures, unless you see a super clean, strong signature, because more or less, if you're going to grade the signature, you want a 10. So unless the signature is super clean and strong, but that one, it's very light going in and very light coming out. So I have a feeling that it would grade down based on everything I've seen. So a little bit of edge wear. Yeah, a little bit of edge wear all the way around. We got a 9 here, maybe an 8, probably a 9. Next one up. We've sent in a few of these for you. A couple of them did well. A couple of them were rough. I think he's trying to collect them all. I think they're out of 99. Is that right? No, out of 250. Okay. So I think you have 5 or 6 of them so far. Just some basic stuff on the front that we got to clean up. So yeah, probably a 9 on this one. Probably a 9. But yeah, if you're still watching now and you haven't dropped a like, got to drop a like at this point. You can watch it for an hour and a half. Aptitude for altitude. That's a cool card. Aptitude for altitude. Oh, wow. That was weird. So one of the things that cut off the bottom folded up, and I just ran my finger across it. Fell right off, so we got a clean edge now. Very nice. I like that as a 9+. Very nice. All right, we're down to the last that many left. Again, I'll do the Prism stuff off camera and just message him because this video has been way too long, but I'll cover how many Prisms and how many Topps Chromes you have. So you have that information, brother. All right. Again, this is a larger than normal collection. I'm using this just as something to share because I think it's interesting, and he said I could share stuff with it. So disgusting corner here. We'll clean that up as best we can, get that fingerprint junk off. Again, this is the first time this card's come out of the One Touch. It's got a mark here. And look how gross this is. Like, seriously, how in the world does it get this disgusting? Look at that. It's like smeared. There's stuff smeared on the top of it. And I can feel, like, when you touch it, it feels chalky. I don't know what the hell somebody was doing with this card. So it's a 9 borderline. I don't know. We'll see what happens once I get it cleaned up. If I can get it all cleaned up, maybe it bumps up. But you know I'm going to take great care of you and get that thing as clean as I possibly can. I just don't understand. This is the first time anyone's pulled them out. Like, I'm cutting their thing. And some of these cards are just disgusting, dude. So wild. I do like the Texas flag in the back. But yeah, look at this. Gunk on his chest. Gunk here. Some scratch marks. It's not a great set. It's wild. It's a good-looking set. They did not do a particularly good job of it. Probably a 9 on that one, unfortunately. And that's one of my favorites so far, actually. I like the Texas in the background. It's super sick. I think somebody must have put a lot of these cards in right after they ate and forgot to wash their hands. Yeah, so when I run my finger over this, I can feel it. So there's gunk right there. See if I can get an angle where you guys can see it. It's really tough to see, but it's right there. I'll get it up. There's a little something there too, but it's a 9+. 9+, I'll get it up. That stuff should all move. That should be a good looking card when I'm done with it. Gloves on. I would hope that they had gloves on. There's no shot they're wearing gloves while putting these cards in these One Touches, but I would have them wear gloves. Why not wear nitrile gloves? Put the cards in there nice and don't get crap all over them. This card was put in backwards. Oops. See, this one was put in this case. There's a difference. I don't know what the difference is, but there is a difference. All right. Lame little patch. But it is 1 out of 99. Yeah, this one's going to be a 9. It's going to be a 9. Small chance of an 8. I should be able to clean it up just enough to get it to a 9, though, hopefully. 2-ball or not 2-ball. These are cool cards. These are cool. Number 1 out of 50. See, scratch mark right there. So just so you guys know, every card, even if it comes out of a one-touch, has a chance of having damage. And I get messages from guys, dude, that's so disappointing. How does it have damage already? I go, bro, these cards were put in there by somebody. It still came off a printing line, and somebody touched it, and they got their nasty fingers on it. It's just the way it is. None of these cards are going to come absolutely perfect, or at least not very often. And to be honest, I'm starting to think that if somebody touched it to put in a one-touch, it's actually worse. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. I would think that if they just put it straight into the pack, it might be better. That card is disgusting, but the centering is just off. It's thin here, thick there. But I'm going to say it's a 9+, but it is very off-centered. I mean, you can see, let me zoom out so you can see it. See how thick that is and how thin that is. So it's probably getting a 9, but I'm going to call it a borderline 9+ because it is beautiful. Everything else on that card is great, minus centering. So a little bit of gunk there on the chest, should get that up. Corner, a little bit of a bump here on the edge. I'm going to call it a 9. Yeah, some markings in the back. I should get up, though, but small chance it bumps up, but I think it's more of a 9. It's a great-looking card, one of the cooler ones, the Alien one. I actually got a bunch of Optic in, and I was going to run some breaks, but our breaks were going a little slow, so I just decided to sell the boxes because they were selling for a good amount. And somebody hit the Alien. He sent me a message. He goes, hey, usually these boxes are never good, but the one I bought from you had the Wembanyama Alien, and I sent him a message back saying, I sent you the wrong box. You're going to need to send that one back. I meant to send you one of the bad ones. He goes, haha, I'm going to give you positive feedback. I said, dude, I'm just kidding around. Congratulations. Oh, it's always fun when somebody hits something cool, man. Makes it more fun. Look at that scratch right there. See that? Just a scratch right through there. It's tough. I'll see if I can get that one up, but I think that's in the card, unfortunately. So yeah, probably more of a 9, possibly an 8, but probably more of a 9. But again, 1 out of 5. Oh, 1 out of 3, even more disgusting. 1 out of 3. Here's 1 out of 7. It's crazy. Absolutely insane. A 1 out of 3 card being damaged that way. Gross. Still a monster. So just some gunk through here, a little bit of some stuff there. Stuff there I'll get up. But this is a 9+. This one should be fine. 1 out of 7. Sick. 1 out of 25 coming up next. Here's a 1 out of 7, though. So many number 1s. Only haven't found the 101. Probably because that card is stupid money. Although, you could probably sell all these and get the 101 if you wanted it. 1 of 7. Just some normal gunk on the front. Yeah, should be a 9+. My hands are definitely getting sore. We're now at an hour and 40 minutes. If you've made it this long, whew, you are a star. So that should come up, but there's a white dot right there. I should be able to get that up. That's something that got stuck. But again, that came out of the freaking thing that way. 9+ on that one. I should get it up. I'm just so irritated that how are they coming out that way? Because again, look at my hands. The only thing I've got on my hands, and it's on this finger, is that stuff got on my finger. But other than that, all this stuff is out there. Oh, that's on my screen. It's like, what is that? I don't have anything white on me that would get on a card. So something white got on the card, and then they put it in this thing. I'd really like to go work there and figure out how to increase their quality assurance. And I don't think Panini makes them themselves. I think they have a company that does it, but send me in as quality insurance, man. I will get them to do it the right way. It's not hard. We're going to get them nitrile gloves. They cost 2 cents. And we're going to wear our gloves when we put these cards away because people will appreciate nicer cards. So again, little mark right there, scratch right here. Yeah, I mean, it's probably a 9, unfortunately. The out of 35 is a 9 because they can't get their grubby little hands. But Josh Ambrose for quality assurance. I will go in there. I'll take my dad. My dad's worked in printers for decades. So mark there. I should get that up. I'll get that cleaned up there as well. Oh my God, this one's got a fucking press mark. How the fuck? Sorry for my language, fellas. What the fuck? Do you see that? It's got an entire press mark. It's going to be like a 6. Oh boy, that is frustrating. And it's got the only 1 out of 45 you're ever going to see too for that particular card. The number 1 out of 45. That is super frustrating. These are expensive cards. They are not cheap. 7 out of 15. That's not 1 out of 15. Huh. Looks like he's underwater. Nice card. 9+. Dual auto. David Robinson. Victor Wembanyama. Very cool card. This is a ridiculously cool card. I used to love David Robinson. The Admiral. Played in the Navy. Insane. What a story. Not bad, actually, on the front. Just some gunk through here, so I'll just cover these up and just give a wipe through there. Probably a 9. Probably a 9. Out of 25, that's a sick card. Absolute nuke. A nuke. Probably a 9 on that one. That one's an upcharge waiting to happen, though. The Admiral and Wembanyama. That is definitely a Spurs fan's wet dream. Get Tim Duncan on that card and gone. 6 out of 75. That is not 1 out of 75. I'm always shocked when you don't have the 1. A white dot there should come up really easy. Yeah, 9+. Again, how does a white dot get on here? Somebody tell me why I can't remove that for the guys who are truthers, because there is no shot that a card should have a white dot coming out of the factory going into a one-touch. There is no shot it should have a white dot on it. It makes no sense to me. It should not be there. It's not real. I didn't get it on there. I have nothing white on my hands other than, you know, my white skin. Boom, got him. But my skin is pink, so that's good. Plus, my skin doesn't just fall off randomly. I don't think. Well, after a sunburn. Anyway, moving on. Last card, guys. Last card. Appreciate you guys hanging out. Drop a like, subscribe, follow. Send me a message if you guys want to send some cards across. Disgusting through here. There's a mark right there, like a pretty nasty mark. Hate that. So I'm going to scrub the front real good around the auto. A little bit of some edge stuff here. It's probably a 9, maybe an 8. I'm going to lean 9, but it could be an 8 on this one. Again, another one where the auto's pretty good on this, but again, the tail's falling just a little bit. Like he got kind of light coming off the tail, which I think looks normal, but I think they would grade us down. Let's see what we got here. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 base Topps Chrome. Again, I'll go through those off camera and just let you know how many I think will go through. 9 Topps Chrome. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 19, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 31, 30, 32. So 31 Prism and 1 Prism Monopoly. So 32 total and 9 on the Topps Chrome. So if you have any questions, let me know. For those of you guys watching, appreciate you guys hanging out. This one looks like a 9+. Again, it looks fake to me. It looks so fake, it's ridiculous. Let me know if you want me to send that across. It's a 9+, but I swear to God, this is fake. It's gotta be fake. It's not the right thickness. There's just so much wrong with it. Even the photo looks like, I don't know if you guys can tell, the photo looks like tired. It's not printed well. But anyway, appreciate you guys checking out the video. If you guys have any questions, just drop a comment, man. I love to get feedback, even if you want to have an argument with me. Let's talk it out. If you think what I do is bad, tell me. If you like what I do, that's awesome too. At the end of the day, my goal is just to get the fingerprints and the little junk off of it that should not be on the card. I don't think that's wrong. PSA doesn't think it's wrong. Otherwise, I would have been, had cards kicked back on me. And I don't get them kicked back because, again, it's a legitimate thing to do in my opinion. So appreciate you guys. Talk to you guys soon. I'm out.